We are going from the Kentuck Campground at Ohiopyle, Pennsylvania, down to the Gap Trail on the Connector route. Here's a blow-up of the Kentuck Campground, and what you have to do is get over to the Fur Road and go all the way down to the end of the Fur Road, and then you'll see a little sign for the Connector, right? You can see it right here, the Campground Connector Trail that will take us down to the Gap. And just above that, in 2023, they put in a new little campsite that you see right there. And I will show you that. It's called the High Bridge Tent Camping. I'll show you that. But here's the sign right at the end of the Fur Road to the Great Allegheny Passage Connector Trail. And that is the connector right there. Now, all of the reviews of this trail say that it's incredibly steep and bicyclists should walk. We saw a couple of bicyclists actually pedaling up the trail. Never saw one pedaling down the trail. We're going down right now, down towards the Gap. I would recommend that you walk your bicycle, but it really is not that steep. And one of the signs says 0.3 miles. Another sign says 0.43 miles, so it's between 0.4 and 0.3 miles from the Kentuck campsite all the way down to the Gap Trail. And right at the beginning, this is not a very steep trail. It's almost flat in through here. Here I've asked Linda to walk ahead of me so that you can get some perspective on the trail. Now, we are both in our mid to late 70s and walk this trail with not a lot of effort, actually. Going down is probably just as hard as coming up. I'm sure Linda has a little brake on her bike right now on the trail, and we've just started a section that's a little more steep than it was right at the top. But this is still not the steepest part of the trail. You'll notice that there are some pipes that stick up here, some hydrants, some say water on the top. When we get down to the High Bridge Tent Campsite, there is no water there, so I don't know where this water is going. You will also notice right here that there are some very large rocks on this trail. They're large enough that I think if I was riding my bicycle, my pedal could hit that. So again, I wouldn't recommend riding on this trail. This is one of the steeper parts of the trail right here.
This is the steepest section.
And as I said, you're looking at the steepest section of this trail right now. I would guess it's probably about 1/10 of a mile long on this really steep section. Again, if you look closely later on, you'll see that there are some ruts, mostly on the right side of the trail as we're going down. So we're staying on the left side of the trail. It's just easier walking there. You can see some ruts in the fallen leaves over there to the right of Linda. It would be very difficult. Your tires would spin if you're trying to ride through those ruts. There's no way you could get through there, I don't think, efficiently. And here we are approaching the cutoff, or the turn that you would have to make to go to the High Bridge Tent Campground. I'm going to walk over there and show you the campground. I will also put a link to a web page where you can read about the campground and how you would register to stay there. If it were me and I was riding a bicycle down the Gap, this is the place where I would stay. I wouldn't pull a fully loaded touring bike all the way up to Kentuck.
Now hang on, kiddo. I'm going to walk over just to get this on the video too. I'll be right back. I'm just going to walk over here.
There are 5 campsites here. It has a composting toilet that you can see, a bike repair station. There is no water. You cannot have a fire, but there are picnic tables at each of the 5 sites.
High Bridge Tent sites. Sites R1 through R5. I'm just going to walk down there just to the first site. Nobody's back in here. All right. But here you can see the sites. They're very pretty, very nice. Tables, everything. All right, let's go back. I'm going to take you all the way down to the Gap.
You can reserve these sites for one night only, $4 per person.
Are you riding down there?
Are we in North Trail?
Yeah.
From the High Bridge Tent campsite down to the Gap Trail, I'm guessing, it's just a guess, but it's probably somewhere between 30 and 50 yards at the most. When we turn the corner down here and we are on the Gap Trail, you'll see a couple of pickups down there. That is where the High Bridge is, and the High Bridge is just outside of Ohiopyle. It's just a few hundred yards actually until you're in Ohiopyle. And you could, since there's no water at the campsite, I would suggest that you get water at the train station, museum, right there in Ohiopyle. Be easy to pack in enough water to stay at the tent site. Here we are crossing the High Bridge.
I got my GoPro on. Let's just push through these guys.
And coming up is the low bridge, that takes you right into Ohiopyle.
Yeah.
And here we're passing the railroad station where you could easily fill your water bottles. So hope you enjoyed the trip from Kentuck Campground all the way down to the Gap Trail and into Ohiopyle.